What is going on, all my stars out there? How y'all shining? Next gen Madden plays completely different. Here are the most realistic settings and sliders for CPU versus CPU simulation games. Whether you watch the games or sim, you'll find these offer the most realistic, authentic experiences. Before I begin, make sure to slide your finger over to the subscribe button and hit it. And after that, slide your finger up and raise it to the like button and click it about 99 times. I use these settings in all of my CPU vs CPU franchises, and Formula Bands help me with tuning some of these and testing to find the best settings to bring to you guys. So definitely go subscribe to his channel and show him some love for me. We'll be going over both league settings and gameplay settings. So starting off with league settings, we have the skill level in all pro and simulation, as it offers the most realistic experiences, especially when combined with the sliders. So moving on down, we have the practice squad stealing off as well as the career clock off for these two. For these two, why we turn them off was because in real life you can match practice squad contracts if someone takes them, but in Madden you cannot do that. So to offer a little bit of realism, we took it off. So please do not use this to cheat and use it as an extension to your roster, such as hoarding a bunch of players. Use it for lower end players as they would in real life that you don't necessarily want to cut, but you also kind of want to have either good backups or even just kind of develop lower end players that are eligible for the practice squad. So moving on down again, what we did was we turned off progressive fatigue as well as practice injuries. For practice injuries, we turned it off because it was more RNG and not realistic. The injuries were only for a game. You can't tailor practices to have some people sit and others not, besides the padding option. For me, it just didn't give a realistic approach to practices. For progressive fatigue, definitely turn this off because Madden does a bad job at managing this, and CPUs don't really manage this, and it causes starters to play very little snaps in game, so we have this off. And moving on down, once again, we have the minimum roster size down to 51 due to practice squad being off, and we have desired X factors at 55, desired superstars at 80, and desired star devs at 405. And from what I noticed, it gave more breakout scenarios. The quarter length is set to 12 minutes and the minimum play clock time is set to 20. And finally, we turned off ball hawk and heat seeker. Now on the gameplay sliders, player skill does not have anything to do with CPU versus CPU games when you're watching or simming, but I tend to keep them the same just in case. So starting off, we have QB accuracy at 30, pass blocking at 70, and we have this because the pass blocking was really bad and there was a lot of sacks. QB was just back up and take sacks, and this was to combat it. It's still work in progress, but it's been pretty good how it is right now. We have wide receiver catching at 52, run blocking at 48, fumbles at 45, pass defense reaction time at 24, and interceptions at 20. We have interceptions low because in real life, not every cornerback is going to jump up and pick the ball, and there isn't often 5 interceptions a game, and most cornerbacks cannot catch. We have pass coverage at 56 and tackling at 70. So moving on to special teams, we have field goal power at 52 and field goal accuracy at 54, and it's been giving accurate kick circumstances. Not everyone will make a 50-yard field goal, and you really need the stats to hit longer field goals. And if you don't, you will see misses like in real life. Punt power is at 55, while punt accuracy is at 42, and kickoff power is at 46. We have injuries at 13, fatigue at 60, and the men player speed threshold set to 50. Now on the penalties, we really like what we have now. We have offsides at 80, false starts at 80, and holding at 95, face mask at 50, and defensive pass interference at 99. On the surface, these numbers may seem very high. However, they get called a realistic amount. For defensive pass interference, it often gets called in the NFL. Sometimes an underthrow or wraparound can make it a guaranteed call. So we wanted to mimic that, but it still rarely gets called in Madden, even on 99. False starts and holdings tend to happen a lot in the NFL as well, and with these settings you'll probably see a lot more holding and false starts as your most called penalties. The only other thing we changed was roughing the passer. We have that at 48, and I recommend do not go up. We have tried this on 60, 55, 52, and 50, and they all produced an unrealistic amount of roughing the passer penalties from 10 a game to even 4 in one quarter and 3 back to back. At 48, we have seen very few and how much they protect the quarterback. In the NFL, we like where it is right now. So these are the most realistic settings that give a good fun experience when simming or watching CPU versus CPU games. If you would like to see the best quarterbacks to trade for and how to trade for them, click the video on the left. And I have a giveaway going on until I hit 1,000 subscribers, so if you'd like more details on that, click the video on the right. I love y'all. To the moon and back. I'm out. Peace.